when you're at his wake. Don't go there to mourn, but to celebrate. I don't wanna be me. I don't wanna be me anymore. I don't wanna be me. I don't wanna be me anymore. What do I wanna be? I don't wanna be me. I don't wanna be me anymore. I don't wanna be me. I don't wanna be me. I don't wanna be me anymore.
I'm so excited to host this briefing today.
All right, everybody, welcome to the stream.
Bring your kids to work day.
Let's fucking
My
rip.
job at the White House is to communicate the president's message. We are here to make America great again. And we live in the best country in the history of the world. I want to know if Donald Trump likes you. He gives many hugs to children. How many people has he fired? We have not had anyone fired. What's the state of the border?
Civil rights groups say last week's deportations included 3 American children, all U.S. citizens. One of them is battling cancer. Parenting 101.
Go to work, live to die, save the kids, defeat them lies, trash the food, wreck the brains, all in the name of fucking capital gain. Still, if you know where to look, the soul of a song, the heart of a book, community pillars deserve a bigger share. Librarians and teachers, lives and kids can take care. It will build a as soon as a private eye is wanting to bring night, the salary is big, but the goal's the same. Bring on the children, another of desire, sanitize their nose and make it grow compliance.
And by the way, I never went to the island, and Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times. I never went to the island, but Larry Summers, I hear, went there. He was the head of Harvard. I never had the privilege of going to his island.
You guys ever heard of a little-known poet, Edgar Allan Poe? You know that guy? Not many people know him. I don't actually know who he is.
sneak peek of a new one. We haven't finished writing the lyrics yet or anything, so a little sneakity peek. It's coming out with the video essay this week. But it's pretty fucking heavy, I'll give you that much. Just kidding. We got one more and then we get into that shit. Now this is a sneak peek of some new shit. Let's fucking go. I'll be right back, guys. It truly was the road. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. It's me. I'm sorry. It's Hellion.Vision from the channel Hellion.Vision. Just wanted to let you know real quick that your style is bad. It's not good. It's really not good at all. But it's okay. I'm here to help. That's right. Designed by yours truly. It's time you got some clothes that rip as hard as you do, don't you think? Look at this fancy number right here. Look at this little number right here. Or how about this one? Yeah, you'd like to wear that, wouldn't you? Order this one, drape it over your nips, boom, it's Knitmas. In all sincerity, I had a lot of fun designing these clothes. I want to do it a lot more, and it's a great way to support the channel. Oh, wait a minute, handsome viewer, I forgot to tell you. Channel members get discounts. In your earpieces. How are we doing tonight? What's up, everybody? Oh, let me bring this down. Okay, ladies and germs. Everybody, what's happening? Let me get well adjusted here. What does that mean, am I right? Let me check in with the chat. What's happening, everybody? Bad dragons aren't great. There, I said it. Well, I am one who trusts Ginger, okay? I trust Ginger. I'm glad we're talking bad dragons already. Keeping it hot and heavy right at the top. You know that's how I like it. What is up? Ajax, Kermit, Ginger, homies in the chat. Great to see you all. excited for some hanging, namely the methyltransferase. What's up, what's up, what's up? All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you all here. Let's get that out of the way. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. Okay, pardon my brain fart. Welcome, everybody. It is November the 24th of the year 2025, and we have a variety of things on the list to cover today. Will we cover it all? I have no idea. Oh, Turkatron. Oh, Ajax, we're talking Turkatron and Goblox? Yo, come on. Come on. And you know who else is involved in the Turkatron Goblox situation? That would be Glenn Danzig of the Misfits. Yes. Yes, yes, indeed. Oh, God, yep. Dre Cloaca, yep. It already happened. Well, man, what was I thinking? Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Snick. Oh, yeah, we snack pecked. How'd you guys like them big riffs? I'm excited to share that new video essay with you guys. It's coming out this week. It is all about Trump's new Bible that is mandatory reading in Oklahoma public schools, that is. And yeah, you know. Ooh, turkey dragon for the holidays? Let's go. Bad dragon, turkey dragon, good dragon. We want all the dragons. Dragon ass. Avanemone. I hope I'm saying your name right. I really hope I'm saying it right. But what's up? It's so great to have you. All right, everybody. Oh, let me make sure my on-screen chat is pulling from both sources here. It's sometimes a little silly with Twitch until I hit the old refresh button. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. All right, everybody. So look. Here's what we got going on today, okay? Let me give you the rundown. Okay? Are we serious? What are we serious about? Blue Eyes White Dragon? Oh. Blue Eyes White Dragon. Blue Eyes Bad Dragon would be wild. Wild work. The Blue Eyes Bad Dragon. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, today we've got some shit to talk about, okay? Now, obviously, as you've read in the title of this broadcast, we are gonna be going over the ShamWow guys run for Congress. Yes, and if you don't know who the ShamWow guy is, I'm sure most of you do, because you're all old fogies like me for the most part. So you probably know who the ShamWow guy is. But he's on a whole nother thing right now. You know, the ShamWow guy. He's wild. I'll say that. Blue Balls November Dragon. Blue Balls. Wait, hold on. That's so good. Blue Balls November Dragon. Both of these Dragon Balls. Oh my gosh, so many balls. Also, guys. Also, as I also said, Adolf Hitler is looking close to cinching. I don't know what the word is, but it's looking like he's going to get his 5th term in South Africa. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. Is there a catch? Is there a catch to what I'm saying? Quite possibly. Is it the Adolf Hitler you're thinking of? You're going to have to find out. You have to wait to find out. Now, and then also, a man forgot the password for the RFID chip in his hand. And we're going to talk about the implications of that. Now, not only is it an RFID chip stuck in someone's hands, it's in a magician's hand, okay? So you can just imagine, yeah. Ajax, we lost the wrong infomercial guy, yeah. Ginger, yep, you heard me right. South Africa. Adolf Hitler. I'm gonna show you what's up with it. Also, I like to give you guys some palate cleansers and whatnot. So we've got some good stuff, like why you shouldn't brine your turkey in the Great Lakes. I'll find all the news for you guys. All right, I find information you won't get anywhere else. So if this is your first time here, do make sure that you subscribe, like all that stuff, right? Doing the shilling, make sure you follow, because I'm the only one online who's going to give you this information of why you should not be brining your turkeys in the Great Lake. Michiganders, you're going to be thanking me. You're going to be thanking me. Yeah, Billy would probably be super MAGA. You're probably right. I do think he would be super MAGA. OxyClean? Yeah, 100%. If he's a magician, he just magically removed the chip. Guess he's not as good as David Blaine. A-Tax. Oh, that's good shit. That is good shit. Okay, let's dive into it, guys. Let's get into the ShamWow guys run for Congress, shall we? I feel like that's a great way to dive up. Now, you know, as funny as it is that this man is running for Congress, I'm pretty sure he's like a crazy racist transphobe thing. So we're gonna check out what's going on with Vince from ShamWow. Okay, actually, you know what? Too, let's give you guys a primer for those who maybe don't know him. Let's watch some ShamWow real quick, and let's also watch some Slap Chop, because you're gonna love my nuts. And you really need to see those to understand the legend of this guy. And like, if you were alive at the time, you know what? Here, look, Vince from ShamWow. ShamWow. He, this is back in the day of infomercials, okay? You know, back when just you'd go on TV and you'd have the shilling happened online. The grifting happened on television, right? It didn't happen online. You know, eventually it really ended up migrating there, but the original grifting happened on your good old television set. So Vince was originally this guy who we thought was just trying to help us out by selling us the best chamois that a person could ask for, I suppose. You know, I'm not a chamois expert, so chamois experts sound off and tell me if I'm doing it wrong. Yeah, Slap Chop. You're gonna love my nuts. Like, this guy, I will say, he's got a je ne sais quoi in the commercial territory. He looks frightening. He's got terrible vibes. But here's the ShamWow. Let's dive in. Let's give you guys a little background. This is Vince from ShamWow. Oh, and look at this. Well, I think we're going to be going down a bit of a rabbit hole here, guys, because the ShamWow official commercial, written and starring Vince Offer, a.k.a. the ShamWow guy, is on the ShamWow guy's page. 4.3 milli views, which is just absolutely, he did it. And I guess this is his product. Shit, I did not know that. Okay, here we go.
Vince with ShamWow. You'll be saying wow every time you use this towel. It's like a chamois, it's like a towel, it's like a sponge. A regular towel doesn't work wet. This works wet or dry. This is for the house, the car, the boat, the RV. ShamWow holds 20 times its weight in liquid. Look at this. It just does the work. Why do you want to work twice as hard? Doesn't drip. Doesn't make a mess. Wring it out. You wash it in the washing machine. Made in Germany. You know the Germans always make good stuff. You can cut it in half. Use one as a bath mat. Drain your dishes with the other one. Use one as a towel. Olympic divers, they use it as a towel. Look at that, completely dry. Put a wet sweater, roll it up. It dries your sweaters. Here's some cola. Wine, coffee, cola, pet stains. Not only is the damage going to be on top, there's your mildew. That is going to smell. See that? The most observant. We're going to do this in real time. Look at this. Put on the spill, turn it over without even putting any pressure. 50% of the cola right there. You follow me, camera guy? The other 50%, the color starts to come up. No other towel is going to do that. It acts like a vacuum. And look at this, virtually dry on the bottom. See what I'm telling you? ShamWow, you'll be saying wow every time.
I can't live without it. I just love it.
Oh my gosh, I don't even buy paper towels anymore.
If you're gonna wash your cars or any kind of vehicle, you'd be out of your mind not to own one of these.
All I can say is ShamWow.
You're going to spend $20 every month on paper towels anyway. You're throwing your money away. The mini ShamWows are for everything, for everyday use. This lasts 10 years. This lasts a week. I don't know. It's so
Yo, catch that dub.
This lasts 10 years. This lasts a week.
Yo, guys, I'm sorry. Why did that have to get dubbed in? He didn't know how long that lasts?
This lasts 10 years. This lasts a week. I don't know, it sells itself. The ShamWow sells for $19.95, but you get one for the house, one for the car, two for the kitchen and bathroom. But if you call now, within the next 20 minutes, because we can't do this all day, we'll give you a second set absolutely free. So that's 8 ShamWows for $19.95. Comes with a 10-year warranty. Here's how to order.
Okay, so ShamWow, that's the ShamWow. Okay, look, I will say, I don't know, man. He's got some je ne sais quoi in the delivery. Is that just me? Like, back in the day, you saw that shit on TV and you were watching. I don't know. He had a little hook to it. Yeah, writer for life. Seeing that between episodes of SpongeBob. Exactly, right? the black light still picked up the DNA. Fuck ShamWow. Yeah, and it was just, look. Where's You're Gonna Love My Nuts? Slap chop. Okay, we need the slap chop. This is
Hi,
the
it's
other
Fitz with Slap.
This is just how you knew this guy, and I'm sorry, it was kind of iconic. I don't know why.
Hi, it's Fitz with Slap Chop. You're gonna be in a great mood all day because you're gonna be slapping your troubles away with the slap chop. Now look, here's a potato. One slap, you got big chunks for stews. Two slaps, home fries in a second. And look at this. When you add a mushroom, the more you do it, the finer it gets. You don't have to switch any blades. Now,
Look at that.
you love salad.
Look at that.
You hate making it. You know you hate making salads. That's why you
You
don't
know
have any
it.
salad in your diet. Watch this. One slap. Salad. I love pizza too, but once in a while, get the veggies in. At least throw it on top of the pizza. You're gonna change your eating habits. Soup, coleslaw, stuff you want.
Yo, so the thing is, it's the headset for me that I think really made it like that's, I don't know, gave it something. Back in the day, early 2000s, if you had a headset, like that was Britney Spears style. Ajax, oh my God, you just unlocked like the mental, like playing PS1 on a tiny second TV with another TV in the room going on, 100% was like the vibe back in the day. I did that with my Dreamcast all the time. Sonic Adventure. Oh yeah, Kermit, I think Billy Mays was coked out, but I mean, tell me this Vince from ShamWow guy was not coked out. Yeah, shit, I'm gonna get it right. Avanemone. Like from fucking Finding Nemo. I gotta get that right. I'm Finding Nemoing it in my head. But yeah, right? Like you remember doing that? That was like such a vibe. There must be, like, I don't know. Ajax, you said that and it was like a punch to the nostalgia bone real quick. Like, especially while we're watching Slap Chop. Oh man. Random TV noise, 100%. Absolutely soothed my ADHD. Tenchu Wrath of Heaven while my parents were watching stuff and hoping they didn't see the blood. Avanemone, that's so funny because, like, I feel like my dad was, like, totally cool with the blood and stuff like that, but, like, I was all on my Final Fantasy X, my Kingdom Hearts and shit, and I was just like, don't come in during a kissing scene. You know, obviously now I'm like, whatever. You know, but, like, back in the day, my dad and my brothers are all very, like, not like super macho, masculine, doodly dudes, but like more than me. So I'm very sensitive boy. Ready for Life, you weren't old enough to do that, but you ran from the main room to the basement to play games during ad time, 100%. Yo, family parties, when you would get to duck out for the video games, when you'd be like, I'm done with this shit. Like, I've socialized. Can I hit the games now? Could I go hit the Wii for a bit? Ginger, I couldn't watch the ShamWows. You should watch the YouTube poops of ShamWow. Oh my gosh, Tuesday. I'm sure those would fucking melt my brain. Oh my gosh, the shark vacuum infomercials, love that. Yeah, the Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, Avanemone, exactly. Like, I'd be, and you know, I'm actually a drummer. I'm not actually a guitar player, but so my rhythms is pretty good. So you know, I'd be nailing the rhythm sections of the Kingdom Hearts, Little Mermaid sing along parts. You know, while my dad's like sitting on the computer behind me, because you know the computer room. You had the computer room, man. This was a computer room. Writer for Life. You ran Naruto fighting tournaments during Christmas Eve parties. Holy, I love that. Ginger, you hated the music from infomercials. Still got the ballad of the 80s. Oh, Ginger, I love those infomercials. The Time Warner presents the music of the 80s. Tell me, how am I supposed to live without you? The rock solid hits that never make you want to stop making love. That shit was always the best. Oh my gosh, so funny. Oh, I think I remember Avanemone. I think I do remember the Slap Chop YouTube poop because it was all the nuts. You're gonna love my nuts. Kermit drum opener, man. See, the tricky part is I have a daughter, and you know, these little kids. So like, it's noisy. I have to get electric drums. It's one day it'll happen. It'll absolutely happen. Yes. Oh my God, Ginger. Holy shit. They had, after they would do like, How Am I Supposed to Live Without You? They would have She's My Cherry Pie. And then right after that, She's Only 17. All those songs were about banging kids. It was, oh my gosh. Oh my God, guys. Wow. I should have figured, like, obviously watching like Slap Chop, ShamWow commercials would like bring us in a time warp, but like, oh, I just wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting it. The 2TV shuffle, especially, you know, I had brothers. So like, you know, we got to take turns and everything. You know, we got to share that TV. You know how it is. Man. Haven Ebony. A ton of old songs are hard to listen to now. Love It First Feel by AC/DC is awkward as fuck. What's that Beatles song that's like gonna get you, little girl? Beatles little girl song. It's crazy. Run for Your Life. This is the one. Here we go. Let me get you the lyrics here. Get ready for some horrific Beatles lyrics if you don't know this one. This is the Beatles from the album Rubber Soul, the song Run for Your Life from 1965, from your dad's classic rock favorites. Well, I'd rather see you dead, little girl, than be with another man. You better keep your head, little girl, or I won't know where I am. You better run for your life if you can, little girl. Hide your head in the sand, little girl. Catch you with another man, that's the end, little girl. Well, you know that I'm a wicked guy, and I was born with a jealous mind. And I can't spend my whole life just trying to make you toe the line. You better run for your life if you can, little girl. Hide your head in the sand, little girl. Catch you with another man, that's the end, little girl. Let this be a sermon. I mean everything I've said. Baby, I'm determined, and I'd rather see you dead. You better run for your life if you can, little girl. Hide your head in the sand, little girl. Catch you with you get it. Yeah, that's the Beatles. So, you know, it's kind of hard. It's wild. Humbert has lyrics. Yep. Yeah, sorry. I thought these lyrics I thought this was like, yeah, this is one of the worst Beatles lyrics, like famously. Yeah. This is the hippie boy band your mom loved with the bold cuts. Yeah, this is off Rubber Soul, guys. This is off Rubber Soul, an album with a lot of songs, like Baby Won't You Drive My Car and shit like that. Like this is off of a big album. Rubber Soul songs. Lots of these songs. Norwegian Wood. This, oh, Michelle. Rubber Soul. Yep. Just happened to be on this one. You probably didn't notice the lyrics because, like, it, sounds like nice little, lovey-dovey. But yeah, that one is Run for Your Life by the Beatles. Run for Your Life is being said to a little girl in that song title. So, Slap Chop. Anyway, how do we transition out of that? How do we Kermit says thanks, Michael Jackson. Oh my God, that's funny. Oh, yeah. All right, Slap Chop. Let's just get to the part where he says you're gonna love my nuts.
5 seconds, 4 or 5 seconds, it's done. This tuna looks boring. Stop having a boring tuna. Stop having a boring life. Add this tuna, put it here like
That's
this.
funny.
Now you're gonna have a nice tuna salad. Look at this. You're gonna have an exciting life now. Look, here's a hard-boiled egg.
Yo, he chops that up. He says, you're gonna have an exciting life now. I mean, he sells it pretty well. Like, I'm sorry. He sells it pretty well. Let's see what he does to this egg.
One chop, you add the pickle, you add the green onion. And what you can do, you can mix things together. You add the ham, and you're gonna love this. You don't have time to make breakfast. Breakfast to go. You're gonna love my nuts. Watch this. Almonds, walnuts, comes with a cover.
Why he's famous.
So you can do everything in the cover, all right? Or you can do it on the board, whatever you'd like. So easy, one finger. If I can do it with one finger, you guys can do it with your whole hand. Kids can do it. You know what they charge at the ice cream stores?
He says, if I can do it with one finger, you guys can do it with your whole hand. Like he doesn't know. I know. This shit does look fire, Ben Poppy. You're 100% correct. The thing is, I don't think he even knows exactly what he's saying. Like, it's verbal diarrhea. It's just, he says, if I can do this with one finger, you can do it with your whole hand. Which implies that, like, you little puny human, your whole hand is as strong as my finger. If I can do this with one finger, you can do it with your whole hand. This is crazy. And so, yeah, he says, you're going to love my nuts. Yo, Vince the ShamWow guy fucking put chapters in this. He fucking chaptered this. Writer for Life, was this more for those with physical disabilities at the time? Maybe. I just, to be fair, I wanted one. He sells me on this shit every time. He sells it to me every time.
It's $1 for toppings at the ice cream stores. Add a couple cookies if you want. So you can make it for 10 cents.
You know what? Now that I think about it, Writer for Life, I always saw these commercials like at my grandfather's house. And I always saw these things in like the little magazines they would send to him that had all the products in it. Yeah, now that I think about it, this shit is definitely maybe designed for that. Oh, is it Pain to Clean, Ajax? That makes sense. Things are never as good as they seem. There's a reason we've been chopping with knives.
Stop throwing your money away. You know, not only nuts.
You're throwing your money away. Okay, that's a slap chop. You get it, right? You get the idea. This is why he was a legend, okay? Now, Vince from ShamWow is running for Congress in Texas. Man, that is a... Bless him. That's a mug. That's a mug, brother. That's a mug. I appreciate it. Okay. Offer Vince Shlomi, the once prominent infomercial pitchman, filed paperwork with the Texas Republican Party to run for the seat held by Republican Representative John Carter. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. Oh shit, Ginger, you're right. A Ziploc, a small book, or a mallet, and bang, bang, bang. You're absolutely right. Kermit, Grinch. You're right. He's giving Grinch. Anemone, right? It's pretty shocking. Offer Vince is his first name actually Offer? What the? He's an enigma. Offer Vince Shlomi said he is running to destroy wokeism in Congress. Let's see. He looks like the MC from The Wire's meth addicted stunt double. I've never seen The Wire, but you've painted a vivid picture for me. Okay, the ShamWow guy is running for Congress and is looking to wipe the floor with the competition. Offer Vince Shlomi, the once prominent infomercial pitchman, is running for Congress in Texas, according to a filing with the state's Republican Party. Even Ebony says campaign is definitely going to be something like, "I'll make you an offer you can't refuse." Or it's going to be like, "You're gonna love my bills" or something. I don't know. We'll get there. He was an early adopter of getting canceled. Oh, you're right. He was an early adopter of getting canceled. You're absolutely right. What was his thing? What did he get arrested for? ShamWow guy arrest. Vince Shlomi. Oh, Jesus. Oh my gosh, we're going down the rabbit hole, guys. His pictures don't look that far off. Look at this. Oh, whoops. I just closed that. Let me get back to that. Oh, we're going down the hole with this guy. So he got arrested for hitting a woman? Holy shit. The ShamWow. Oh, he's Israeli, Kermit? Yeah. I guess that makes sense. The ShamWow guy, Vince Offer, has returned after a sex scandal to clean up his act with a new product, Invincible. It isn't just a 6-in-1 kitchen cleaner, though. It's a comeback. 4 years after getting into a slugfest with an alleged prostitute? Okay, this was 2009. Does he have a picture where he doesn't look evil? I don't think so, because I think to say I think he's evil here. ShamWow, more like ShamOw. That's really in poor taste. Fucking NBC. Holy shit. New photos of this is so 2009 though. That's absolutely like 2009. No fucking empathy. No fucking, oh man. Not like I guess it's not really any different now. New photos of a prostitute allegedly beaten by a late night pitchman detail what appears to have been a particularly brutal attack. Jesus. Kermit, I don't know if it was a trans one. We're going to find out. Vince Shlomi, best known for hawking products for $20 on late night infomercials, was arrested on South Beach last month for allegedly beating up a prostitute who tried to bite out his tongue. And if the photos of the... Oh, Jesus. And if the photos of the prostitute after the beating occurred are any indication, it appears Shlomi must not have liked what she was selling that night in his hotel room. The pictures on TMZ.com allegedly show the battered and bruised sex worker Sasha Harris with 2 bloodshot black eyes and multiple bruises on her body. Damn. According to a report on thesmokinggun.com, Shlomi invited Harris up for straight sex at the low introductory rate of $1,000. But wait, there's more. When Shlomi, 44, tried to tongue kiss Harris, she latched onto his tongue with her teeth. Not sure if that was part of the offer or one of those throw in the deals. Shut up, article. Shlomi is probably best known as the ShamWow guy. So as Harris chewed on Shlomi's tongue, the pitchman punched... Jesus, this article is fucking brutal. I cannot read it the way it's written. Shlomi ran to the... This isn't even TMZ. This is fucking NBC. This is the local... This is South Florida. Yeah, it was the article. I'm sorry. I should have made that clear, too. I would never fucking add that shit myself to something like this. Like, holy shit. Oh, we'll read his bio on Wikipedia? Okay, let's do that. Yeah, let's absolutely do that, because this article is fucking foul. Holy shit. But I want to know what the fuck, like, he, Vince Sham. Wow. Oh, Kermit, why are you sorry? Don't be sorry for anything. Oh my God, you're right. Oh, wow. He's an Israeli-American infomercial pitchman, screenwriter, actor, director, and Oh, shit. Uh-oh. This guy might actually... I thought we were getting into some silly... This is not silly. This might actually be some shit, guys. Holy fuck. Oh, man. Okay, so Vince Shlomi is an Israeli-American infomercial pitchman, screenwriter, politician who's the president and CEO of television advertising industry Square One Entertainment. Offer's first major work was the 1999 comedy film The Underground Comedy Movie. He appears in television commercials for his own products, including ShamWow, an absorbent towel, the slap chop, a kitchen utensil. Yeah. He was born in Israel. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, Kermit, I did go to Wiki and then search like an absolute old person. That was monstrous behavior. No, Kermit. Yeah. No, I know that you're not. I know you're not anti-Jewish. This is. He's from Israel, and he's trying to enter politics as a Republican. Like, that sounds like somebody who's going to fucking ride hard for Israel. So he was born in Israel. He immigrated to the U.S. when he was a child and grew up in Brooklyn, New York, with a single mother. Dropped out of high school, moved to Los Angeles, changed his name to Vince Offer in 1986 and started appearing on public access television. Ava Nemini, yeah, that sinister DreamWorks smirk is hiding a monster. Yeah, it is like a DreamWorks villain. Like, it's crazy. In 1996, Offer directed and appeared in the Underground Comedy Movie, which met with negative reviews and led to several lawsuits. Holy shit, that's funny. Then he was on infomercials. The
the film has sold in excess of 1,000 copies and offers use the proceeds from his sales to file a lawsuit against the Church of Scientology. He's an ex-Scientologist. In 2011, he appeared as himself in an Adam Sandler film, Jack and Jill. Holy shit, this guy's got a fucking background. Okay, so Slapchop, where's his lawsuits? Okay, arrest. So on February 7, 2009, Offer and a 26-year-old prostitute were both arrested in Miami Beach, Florida after a physical altercation. The police report stated the woman had bitten onto Offer's tongue and refused to let go, at which point Offer punched her in the face, left her with lacerations and fractures. Police later released photos of the bloodied Offer hotel room and battered woman. Prosecutors later declined to file formal charges against either person. When Offer later spoke of the arrest, he stated, "It probably saved my life." Yeah, this is... Whew. Vince Offer married Melody Claire Mandate on April 18, 2014, his went out with her, and they filed for divorce in 2018. That's wild. Yeah. Ava Nemini, you said I knew a little bit of the sex worker assault. Scientology and Jack and Jill is already 3 strikes, yeah. But you said I knew a little bit, but the sex worker assault, Scientology, and Jack and Jill is 3 strikes right there, yeah. So on the one hand, suing Scientology is good. On the other hand, hitting a sex worker is a no-no. And Ajax says, of course, they also arrest the battered lady. Yeah, like, I do not trust that situation, you know, obviously, I can't make any allegations or anything like that, but, like, you know, he seems like a fucking scumbag. I'll just say that. He seems pretty scummy. Holy shit. All right, so he might be a problem. He might be an actual issue if he, you know, gets into politics, because he's gonna have some fucking reactionary Republican sort of bullshit to hit us with. Okay, the ShamWow guy, Vince Offer, has just returned from a sex scandal. Okay, this is... Oh, the other one. Oh, no, we want to get back to... All right. Here he is now, running for Congress. After all of that, I'm worried he's going to actually get the position because of that background. The ShamWow guy, he's running in Texas. So, yeah, the ShamWow guy is running for Congress in Texas. And he's looking to take John Carter's seat, which is crazy. Writer for life. You might have to get creative, spacing out some words, however it is, because YouTube doesn't want us to say things about Vince ShamWow. But this guy's definitely a sham. Wow. I'm going to shut the fuck up now and read the article. Yeah, he's going to be voted in for sure. Exactly. Because I mean, his background is, he's got like the perfect Republican politician background, violent assaults, you know, a history of selling shoddy products, questionable behaviors, all that sort of stuff. The Bezobots are on to you today, Eminem. Yeah, you gotta get reworded. You gotta get clever when you're talking about Vince here, because, you know, if you don't have anything nice to say about Vince, say it. That's what I always say. Holy shame! Wow, Batman. Yeah. Okay, so the ShamWow guy is running for Congress and is looking to wipe up the floor with the competition. Holy fuck. Offer Vince Shlomi, the once prominent infomercial pitchman, is running for Congress in Texas, according to a filing with the state's Republican Party. Shlomi is running for a seat held by Republican Representative John Carter, 84, who has served more than 2 decades in Congress. Carter announced earlier this month... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. Sorry, guys. Got to straighten myself. Shlomi is running for a seat held by Republican Representative John Carter, 84, who has served more than 2 decades in Congress. Carter announced earlier this month he'd run for re-election, so Shlomi has an uphill battle against an entrenched incumbent. Yeah, that's... Okay, that... Man, am I happy that just could be John Carter? Not, like, what the fuck, man? This is crazy. What a way to make that happen. Even if he wasn't such a questionable individual with a checkered past, he could play a great Moe in a live-action Simpsons thing. You're right about that. The former pitchman, best known for his role selling the ShamWow title, told Fox News that he wants to destroy wokeism in Congress and that he's been motivated by the political infighting in the country to run and, quote, make America happy. My man said, I see that the country is run by con artists, and I am a con artist. I would like to con, please. Please let me con. In 2009, Shlomi was arrested on suspicion of battery after a fight with a woman who was also arrested. Prosecutors declined to press charges. Shlomi told NBC News in an interview for a 2013 article that he takes full responsibility for his actions and that he would cut down on partying. People understand you make mistakes in life, he said. Hopefully, I won't make another mistake. Shlomi's candidacy is listed on the state party's website ahead of Texas's December filing deadline for candidates. But he hasn't yet filed with the Federal Election Commission. The state's primary takes place in March. Last quarter, another one of Carter's GOP primary opponents, businessman Raymond Hamden, outraised the incumbent, but largely because he gave his own campaign a $105,500 loan. That's a classic way to do it. Okay, so maybe they misheard him. He meant crappy. That's so funny. Make America crappy. Yeah, wow, guys. So that's the ShamWow guy running for Congress. And what a hole we just went through. I thought, yeah, Ajax, hopefully I won't beat another woman. He's like, everybody has checkered past. I'm no different. I'm your just regular checkered past man, It's just, everybody does. Everybody, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? But most people don't end up punching sex workers. I don't know. Some things in life are easier. This is like when we were talking about Taylor Swift the other day and how many, accidental Nazi things she has in her stuff, It seems like a relatively easy thing to avoid, I've zero accidental Nazi things. Most people I know, you know what? I don't really dabble in absolutes, but I would say all the people I know don't have that, Ginger, your family is originally Texan. You luckily never lived there, man. Anemone, I've never met a sex worker, to be honest. Well, who knows now? Because, considering people have, like, OnlyFans and things like that, I think the definition of sex worker is a lot more expansive. Who knows? Like, you may have met a sex worker in your day-to-day life and you wouldn't even know because it's just like a regular person, Slipped on on a used prophylactic into an assault. Yeah, it's kind of cool, right? It is just like you just never know. I'm sure you've met somebody who does some sort of sex work, but it's, unless you're like, this is why people who have these like strong stances, like they don't understand. Just like the world is so vast, and people, you definitely know someone. Ginger, yeah. Oh, Ginger said, yeah, you used to do street work. You were a sex worker. Okay, yeah. So like, you just, people like have things that they've done, and like people, you just know all sorts of people that you don't even know that you know. That's a lot of no's, but that's kind of the point there. Like, and that's why I think generally, that's why it's always good to try to be empathetic when you can. Like, just because in general, I think when people are doing things that are hateful, they don't realize that they probably know somebody that they're hurting that they wouldn't want to hurt. But, people sometimes don't think that far ahead of things, or I don't know. It's another one of those things that seems relatively easy. Just be chill to people, and I think most people are that way, right? That's why even though you've never, like, you may not know that you've ever encountered a sex worker, but you didn't do something like inflammatory, like Vince ShamWow, like automatically just based on the personality you have, right? Like, this is why it's just like guys like this are not normal, They're fueled by something I don't know, maybe selfish. I don't know. I don't really know what it is. I can't honestly relate in a lot of ways. But anyway, that's from ShamWow. He's running to destroy wokeism in Congress. That's what he said. And I believe we're not gonna.
Hi, it's Vince with ShamWow. You'll be saying
get
wow.
out of here, Vince. Get out of here, Vince. Also, thank you, Ginger. Ginger, you're always supporting. I really appreciate that. Hitting the like and showing the love. I appreciate that, guys. So the other thing that the ShamWow guy, I think, is known for, he just put this out. Oh, nope, we're not watching it. Woke Busters. I think he's like some transphobic music video he just put out. Looks like he's had, pretty tough time outside of ShamWowing. But inappropriate comedy movie clips written and directed by, holy shit, man. The amazing racist runs for a driving school for, holy shit, man. Oh, if he gets Ava Emily, if he gets elected to Texas, they'll be saying, "Well, I didn't know life could suck this bad." They'll say, "I see what you did there." Writer for Life says, "I try to be as utilitarian as possible because of that idea of people deserving sympathy / empathy." Yeah, that's a great way to be. That's a great way to be. Woke Busters. Obviously, we are not watching it. Wait. Millions. Okay, wait, look at this description. Millions of views on other platforms, but for some reason, it's not viral here yet. Why? It's because they know it will help deprogram people. See some of the comments for proof below on how triggered people are. Holy man. We're not going to look at that shit, but like, he's delusional enough. He's definitely delusional enough to secure a Republican Congress seat. This timeline is the worst, and I don't put it past. I don't put it past. Oh yeah, even Emily. No way I'm giving that a spin. No problem. You don't even thank me. There's absolutely nothing in it that I would find to be of value. Ginger says he does a scene where he is in underwear in front of kids. Not sure if they were in the same space, but yeah, okay. Ginger, this is exactly, I don't have to tell you, but like they do that shit all the time, right? Where they're like the queer community, the trans community is a danger to kids, and they will do that while they're literally fucking doing a scene in underwear in front of kids. They are the danger to kids. We already know that. Like, come on. Trump, Epstein, it's all birds of a feather. Like, we know all that. Like, it's all them. Crazy shit. Well, guys, I think we need a palate cleanser. I thought that was going to be like a goof story right off the top, but it got a little yucky there, didn't it? So, shit. Let's go with Let's go with brining a turkey in the Great Lake. Let's do that. Yeah, exactly. Ginger, yeah. They're like, yeah, you guys are the groomers, but they do all the grooming shit. Exactly. It's like the church, you've got the church, you've got the politicians, you've got so many like arms of Republican society that are like dangerous to kids. And like sexually and beyond, you know? Someday there's going to be even Emily, someday there's going to be a banger Respect the Dead on Vince offer at least. That's wild. That's wild. Okay. Officials say, don't brine your turkey in the Great Salt Lake. That's right. I know you were thinking of doing it. Don't fucking do it. Officials at the Great... This is funny to me. I don't know why. It's stupid. Look at that turkey. You shouldn't have done that. That's too salty. Officials at the Great Salt Lake State Park and Marina in Utah are reminding locals not to brine their Thanksgiving turkeys in the Great Salt Lake after someone's bird washed up on the beach. Ginger, who the fuck does that? I don't know. Some fucking... Oh, Kermit does it. Kermit dropped the Let them be dumb. Ajax, let them be dumb. The park said on social media that a turkey still bearing a faded label from the store washed up on Silver Sands Beach. Officials said the discovery was a teaching moment. Oh my God. Oh my God. Anemone, that's fucking disgusting. I'm gonna read it out loud. That's so foul. Everybody has to suffer. Oh. Elon Musk's bathwater is probably way more effective on account of the salt coming off that guy. Oh. Oh my God, that is so funny. Don't actually apologize for my bad. No, that's so fucking funny. Oh my God, he's gross. He's definitely a salt lick of a human. So salty. Ugh, I hate it. Okay, the park said on social media. Officials said the discovery was a teaching moment. Just your annual reminder not to use the Great Salt Lake to brine your turkey, the post said. Not only is the salinity too high for a proper brine, the waves can be very strong, and there's a good chance you could lose the entire turkey as this person did. It ended up washed up on Silver Sands Beach, and someone went turkeyless. So that's that. Simple. It's simple and clean. Yeah, it is like the rum ham. Yeah, I love rum ham. I love that. It's so funny. I used to watch that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with my parents on like Christmas for some reason. I don't remember when that started happening, but we started doing that. I have no clue why. But we love the rum ham. Fun fact, I actually I filmed Danny DeVito for work once because the place I work was doing Matilda live in concert, and Danny DeVito came, and he was there with Rhea Perlman and who's the girl that played Matilda? She was really cool. It was a good time. The Guidos, baby. All right, that's our turkey brine, baby. That's our turkey brine. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, okay, so like, I was doing something for an orchestra, and the orchestra does like the film scores, and they play the film above the orchestra, like they play the whole film, and they take the music out. And Danny DeVito came. He did. I made him come to the thing. So yeah, they play the whole movie above the orchestra, and they take all the music out of it, so it's just dialogue. And Danny DeVito, since he did the movie, like he directed Matilda, like that movie is like his baby, I guess, which I didn't realize. So he actually like volunteered to come out for free to the concert to narrate, because he plays like Matilda's dad in the film, and so he was like on stage doing the narration live. Mara Wilson, thank you, Ava Nemini. Yeah. Mara Wilson. She was cool. She was very nice. Yeah. Rhea Perlman, yeah. So it was Rhea Perlman and Danny DeVito and the guy who wrote the music for the thing, because he conducted. So it was cool. But I got to film just, him on stage doing his thing. I did like an overview of the night kind of thing. So yeah. I used to love Matilda too. Yeah. So like that, I think, was the first movie he ever directed. And it's all filmed in New Jersey. And he's a Jersey boy, and I'm a Jersey boy, so represent. He literally, I don't know if you guys like know this, if Jersey Mike's, the sub place is only in Jersey, but like, he's literally the spokesman for Jersey Mike's, the sub sandwich place. So like, there's billboards on my way to work and shit of like Danny DeVito with like a big sub, like a big hoagie, so it's cool. Yeah, he's a cool dude. All right, guys, should I stop burying the lead here? Do we want to hear about Adolf Hitler's South African run here? Oh, I figured you guys got Jersey Mike's in New York. He loves Jersey Mike's. He does. He loves the meats. All right. Here we go. Adolf Hitler set to conquer local elections on South Africa's doorstep. Okay? You guys ready for this? I'll show you the picture. Is it going to be the guy you think it is? No. Adolf Hitler, Unona, says his father likely named him after the German dictator without fully understanding the Nazi leader's beliefs. Most unfortunate name. Most unfortunate name. But I think it is time to change it, right? Ginger, I want to... Us Jersey, we don't want to be New York, all right? We got space over here. You know? You know how it is? The pizza's better on this side of the Hudson. Beef. Anyway. Adolf, yeah, this is, I know Avon, most famous guy on earth for a time. I just didn't know. Well, let's see. Maybe there's some background to it. I don't know. I just thought the headline was too good not to. I mean, that's great bait. That's great bait right there. Phenomenal bait. Ginger, you do have space there. It is very expensive. Very expensive. Yeah, oh yeah. We got pizza over here. We're gonna have to send each other some slices. We're gonna have to send each other slices and have a little Hudson Subway series pizza off. All right, here we go, guys. This is the tale of Adolf Hitler. A Nambian politician named Adolf Hitler, Unona, is currently on course to secure his 5th term in office, running for the role of district administrator in the Opunja region. He must be good. 5th term. He must be good. People got past his name. Unona, who has been burdened with the infamous Nazi tyrant's name, previously went viral in 2020 after winning a sweeping victory in local elections. Voters are reportedly set to return the ruling SWAPO party politician with another huge majority. Adolf Hitler Unona has insisted that he has nothing to do with Nazi ideology. That sucks to have to say that. Holy shit. Oh my God. That's such... that's a tough life. He confirmed that his father had named him after the German dictator, likely without understanding what Adolf Hitler stood for, according to reports. That's... Parents be doing some wild stuff. This is a wild parenting move right here. The politician confessed that he viewed the name as totally normal as a child, only realizing later that his namesake wanted to conquer the whole world. Unona later confirmed that he generally goes by Adolf Unona, adding that it is now too late to officially change his name. Is it too late to change it? I guess so. The controversy is particularly acute given Nambia's long and fraught history with Germany. Known historically as German Southwest Africa, South Africa's neighbor was a German colony from 1884 until World War I. During this colonial period, German soldiers systematically slaughtered approximately 65,000 Herero and 10,000 Nama people between 1904 and 1908 in what has been labeled as the first genocide of the 20th century. Wow, I gotta learn more about this. Survivors of this brutal campaign were subjected to forced labor and sent to prison camps, with these colonial atrocities seen by some as having foreshadowed the barbarity of the Nazi Holocaust, unleashed decades later. The original Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party oversaw the systemic murder of 6 million Jewish people in the Holocaust after taking power in 1933. However, the modern politician insists he is not following in those tyrannical footsteps, joking that having the name, quote, does not mean I want to conquer Oshana or strive for world domination. Was he joking, though? Like, I don't think he was joking. I think that was him being like, no, guys, fucking seriously, I'm so tired. So tired of being named Adolf Hitler. Namibia, which was eventually granted independence from apartheid South Africa in 1990, still retains German named towns and a small German-speaking community. Germany's acknowledged a special responsibility towards Namibia due to their shared colonial past, but negotiations for reparations continue. Wild. Wild to have the name Adolf Hitler. And he seems like he's got a good attitude about it. Holy shit. That is pretty wild, like, to not know. I don't know. I have not heard of anybody not knowing of, you know, Adolf Hitler's shit. You know, he's pretty well known in that regard, I would say. But, you know, maybe I guess well, I don't know why it's too late to change it. I think that's where I'm getting stumped at. I'm getting stumped at that. But look, everybody makes bad decisions, okay? Maybe his dad just made a bad decision there. He didn't really understand what was going on. But did you say Germanese? I hope I didn't. But I'm slightly stupid. I may have. He was born before the internet, so it could have been absent around there at the time. Yeah, who knows? You're right. That's a great point. I don't know how it happens. But look, everybody makes mistakes, right? I mean, we don't always make the best decisions, especially sometimes under duress, right? And so that leads us to our next story of a man who, I don't know how he got to the conclusion that he got to, but like, look, lots of people say terrestrial radio is dead. I think this is proof that it's not dead, because a man apparently reported a dead body to radio hosts before contacting the police. Yes. Somebody, I don't know if they were on the line already for the radio show, which, you know, you used to wait a long time to get on a radio show or something like that. I never called into a radio show, but I know people that used to, and you know, this was like an original forum, kind of a comment section before the internet. So people would wait around to you know, get on the radio. I don't know if it's still like that, but I'm pretty curious as to how he could have gone into this direction. Ajax says it's the ShamWow, dude. Yeah, it must. That's really the only way that this makes sense. So this took place in Baltimore. Okay, so we're in Baltimore here. The Frederick Police Department found a body in a wooded area after a caller talked about finding the remains on a morning radio show on Friday. Oh man, the caller, who went by the name Joseph, told radio hosts on Elliot in the Morning on DC 101 that he found the body while exploring nature. He said he was at a campsite in Frederick County when he came across the remains. What? Why did you call the radio? Detectives located the body in a wooded area off East Street in Carroll Creek. He must have killed the guy. Come on. What's going on here? Detectives located the body in a wooded area off East Street and Carroll Creek crossing in Frederick, according to a post from police. Officials are investigating, but said there is no threat to the public. After the caller revealed that he had found the body 18 days ago and had not... 18 days ago? So is this the first fucking phone call this guy made in 18 days? What? The caller revealed that he had found the body 18 days ago and had not contacted the police. What? Ginger says that's all right. A caller in Connecticut around 08 or 09 made a call to the radio show and outed himself as a bank robber from a robbery that happened a day ago. That's amazing. That's crazy. That's insane work. So after the caller revealed that he had found the body 18 days ago and had not contacted the police, radio host Elliot Segal reportedly said, "Dude, call the cops." God, see, radio's alive and well. Terrestrial radio is alive and well, ladies and gentlemen. The man said he would get to it, saying he had a dream that reminded him to do so. Ajax Crazy Ira and the douche will love the story. I remember that. That's like from Family Guy or something, right? I haven't watched that shit in so long. But I remember that. I used to, like, I remember that shit from way back in the day. The man said he would get to it, saying he had a dream that reminded him to do so. "This may sound sick," the man said to the radio hosts, "but I've always wanted to come upon something like that, and luckily it was months old, so that was nice." Who the fuck is this guy? This guy's insane. What? I've always wanted to come upon something like that. I've always wanted to come upon a dead body. The fuck is that? Tell me. Is your shit like are you just like, I grew up, you're gonna think this is weird, fella? You're gonna think this is a little strange, but look, as a kid, I loved the film Stand By Me. Always loved it. Would love to actually come across a dead body off the train tracks myself. You know, been dreaming of it. Actually, you're gonna think it's weird. Been dreaming of it, and luckily, it was months old, so that was nice. That's how I would describe it, as nice. He said, "This may sound sick, but I've always wanted to come upon something like that, and luckily it was months old, so that was nice." That's a nice little thing. During the call, Segal begged him to call the police immediately. The man said that because the body seemed to be so old, it didn't seem urgent to call the police. Holy shit. "Why do you think I need to do it right now?" the caller said. "Why? Because there's a dead body that you found," Segal responded. How is this caller alive? How is this man survived long enough? How has this man not died a turkey death of just walking outside in the rain with his mouth open and it filling with water? How is... The caller seemingly brushed Segal off, saying he'd get to it that day. Segal then placed the man on hold while the show was on the air to discuss with his co-hosts how to handle the situation. When he got back on the phone with the caller, Segal eventually convinced him to contact the police immediately. DC 101 did not immediately respond to a request for comment. What the fuck? This guy's just a big fan of Stand By Me. Exactly. I'm more shocked that Elliot in the Morning is still on the air. Oops. But I've always wanted to come on something like that. And look, it was months old, so that was nice. Okay, thank you. Somebody acknowledges it here. Okay, so let's put that aside for a moment. His desire to experience coming upon a dead body. Oh my God, that's wild. The body ain't gonna die again. You're right, Ginger. Absolutely right. What the fuck? I feel like, I don't know. It's just so, how can you be that stupid? How are you alive? I do not understand. But look, you know, it's stupid to, might as well just do a weekend at Bernie. He might not have had a friend. He wanted someone to crack some beers with. Ginger says. That's true. Metal Transferase must be a Pokemon fan. That scene was in the first gen games. Oh yeah, you're right. The Metal Transferase, you're right. In the very first Pokemon games, in your house, like where you start, you'd walk up to the TV and it described the scene of Stand By Me. You're absolutely right. Shit, man. That was crazy. But look, you know, that's a stupid decision, right? To not call somebody, to not call the police after seeing a dead body. It's a stupid decision. It got solved, right? And luckily, it's something that people will know how to deal with, right? It's not a future problem, okay? Now, there are other problems that are future problems, like when you... Oh, yeah. Did you know... Ginger said, "Oh shit, I didn't know that. Did you know gaming never mentioned that?" Did you know gaming absolutely mentioned that at some point, somewhere. They definitely have. Probably like 30 years ago. Before YouTube even existed. So, look. I'm not here to judge, right? Especially when it comes to problems of the future. I'm not here to judge. But we may just have to. We may just have to. Because although the last man was stupid, I feel like he's probably not as stupid as the man who forgets the password to his own hand after he gets an RFID chip implanted into it. Yes, a magician, thinking he'd be very clever, put an RFID chip, implanted it, in the old palm meat there. My assumption is to activate incredible tricks, like I don't know. You could probably purchase something through there. You know, I'm sure all your cards would work on there. Cash withdrawal. I don't know. I don't really know what he would do. But magician beef. Yes, this is magician solo beefing, just like Chris Angel style. Ginger says, to be fair, I used all the same passwords, just password 123. Hey, it's a classic, you know. Don't knock the classics. Don't knock the classics at all. So let's talk about this magician here, okay? This little tricksy hobbit. So in this article, it says it's important to have your login in hand. Literally. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to try to pronounce his name correctly. I hope I do. And if I don't, go ahead and berate me. But the article reads, it's important to have your login in hand, literally. Ji Tang Wang, a magician who implanted an RFID chip in his appendage, has admitted losing access to it because he forgot the password. It seemed like such a neat idea. Get an RFID chip implanted in your hand and then do magical stuff with it. Except it didn't work out that way. It turns out, said Z, that pressing someone else's phone in my hand repeatedly, trying to figure out where their phone's RFID reader is, really doesn't come off super mysterious and magical and amazing. Oh, that's incredible. Oh my God, Ajax, you're right. That was a Chat GPT-ass quip right there at the top. Probably absolutely there. Then there are the people who don't even have their phone's RFID reader enabled. Using his own phone would, in G's words, lack a certain oomph. Oh well. How about making the chip spit out a Bitcoin address? That literally never came up either. In the end, Z rewrote the chip link to link to a meme. And if you ever meet me in person, you can scan my chip and see the meme. Oh man, that's crazy. He's like, oh, my RFID chip plant is useless. I'm just going to make it a meme. It was all suitably amusing until the imager link he was using went down. Not everything on the World Wide Web is forever, and there is no guarantee that a given link will work indefinitely. Indeed, access to Imager from the United Kingdom was abruptly cut off on September 30th in response to the country's age verification rules. Ginger, have a good night. Get that med sleepy going in. You know, I take my meds after the stream. That med drowsy sleep. It hits. It's nice. It was all suitably amusing. Oh, yeah. Still, the link not working isn't the end of the world, right? She could just reprogram the chip again, yeah? I mean, wrong. When I went to rewrite the chip, I was horrified to realize I forgot the password that I had locked it with. The link eventually started working again, but if and when it stops, Xi's party piece will be a little less entertaining. He said, techie friends I've consulted with have determined that it's too dumb and simple to hack. The only way to crack it is to strap on an RFID reader for days to weeks, brute forcing every possible combination, or perhaps some surgery to remove the offending hardware. Zia's idea is not innovative. Individuals such as Professor Kevin Warwick and his cyborg ambitions spring to mind. What? But forgetting What the fuck is that? That kind of worries me. Captain Cyborg. I don't like that. And his, but forgetting the password certainly highlights one of the risks of inserting hardware under the skin. Man, that shit fucking freaks me out. Who wants that? Who wants fucking chips and shit in their skin, man? Like, I don't know, that freaks me out. Xi goes by the stage name Xi the Mentalist, and in addition to performing close-up magic, also refers to himself as an accomplished scientist with a focus in biology. Quote, I'm living my own cyberpunk dystopia life right now. Locked out of technology inside my body, and it's my own damn fault, said Xi. And I can honestly say that I forget the password to my own hand. That's so dystopian. How upsetting. I don't know. I would never get a... Oh, your hand can rickroll people, Ajax? That's a great point. The fingertip magnets seem kind of fun and awful. See, I don't know. I don't think I would ever... I think it scares me. I would never want to. Right? Who's gonna, like... In all seriousness, like, would any of you actually get an implant like that? Like, I don't know. That genuinely scares me, especially since it's like just gonna give Elon Musk access to my bunghole or whatever, you know. And I just don't need that. I don't need the man up in my derriere. Okay, that's just me. That's just me. So, but look, guys. Well, the whole idea of capital owners owning you, it's not new. And honestly, I don't think, I think it's going to be a while before we have to worry about things like implants or whatever, I think it's gonna be a while before we have to worry about, TP for our bunghole being downloaded from the net. But capitalists, the lords of capital are still gonna find a way to make money off of the most human aspects of our lives, right? And look, there's nothing too sacred. There's nothing that isn't up for sale. So I wanted to talk about this article that I found incredibly interesting. That's very outside of what I would normally cover. But in a way, very much is connected to the things I cover all the time because it is capitalism at its worst. And that is private equity's new venture, youth sports. So this article is going to tell us about how venture capitalists are looking to make you pay to watch your kid play sports. Huh. Isn't that fucking heartwarming? Isn't that just fucking great? Yeah, Ajax, this is like the TP dispenser that requires you to watch an ad. Exactly. It's so funny too, because I remember posting that and sharing it around, and there's just, in leftist spaces, I'm sure you guys know it, there's just people who love China so much that whatever you post, they're like, nah, you're talking shit on China. Literally just it's just general capitalism, man. It's bad wherever it is. Paying for fucking toilet paper? Come on, to wipe your butt? To wipe your derriere? That's crazy. Yeah, this is devilish kind of shit right here, right? Absolutely fucking wild. So, this is private equity's new venture, youth sports. Backed by Wall Street, the company Black Bear Sports Group is tightening its grip on youth sports in a scheme only private equity could dream up. Parents now can't record their kids' games, but they can pay a steep price to watch corporate recordings. This is the kids' youth hockey there. So actually, another reason why this is interesting to me is because my family's a hockey family. My little brother played hockey. I never played. I'm not a sports guy, but I've always enjoyed watching hockey. And, I've got a kid, and, like, they might want to play hockey one day, I'm sure. My father's into hockey, her grandfather's into hockey, Captive audience. New mental transference, they've got you by the butthole. Yeah, they got you. They got you by the hole, by the derriere. So there's an ironclad truism in youth sports. Every parent turns into an ESPN 30 for 30 documentarian as soon as they have a video recording device in hand at their kid's game. Some record the games and post them online so family members and friends who can't attend in person can watch their kids play. Sometimes they do so to attract the attention of college scouts or help players hone their craft. Some people just want to preserve the memories. But in the world of corporatized youth sports, even this simple pleasure is being banned and monetized by Wall Street to extract as much profit as possible from players and parents, no matter how many kids get sidelined because they can't afford the sport's rising costs. And that's another thing. Hockey is a very expensive game. Like a lot of these, so many of these sports require you to pay tons of money to even participate in, which is already hard enough for a lot of kids. But then to make it like you're not allowed to film your kid playing, like there's just no humanity in capitalism. There's no incentive for humanity. There never is. And it's just getting to the point you cannot rely on people to not be greedy about this shit, especially people who make it their lives to make money. You have to genuinely not really like be motivated by money to like be human. And this shit is just not human. As the $40 billion youth sports industry comes under private equity control, corporate-owned facilities and leagues, from hockey rinks to cheerleading arenas, have begun prohibiting parents from recording their own kids' sports games. Kermit, yeah, it's anti-family. Ajax says maybe teachers could get a living wage if they did this for theater plays. Yeah, right. Yeah, who am I kidding? The teachers are never going to get a living wage. Yeah, like, it's fucking gross, man. There's money for this shit. But this country just doesn't care about kids. It likes to pretend. It likes to stand on the, people like to use kids for their political motivations, but most people don't actually care about kids. Like, plenty of people don't even care about their own kids. It's crazy, let alone other people's kids. Even if kids are the people who deserve to have, some peace, some joy in this life because they've not contributed anything terrible to it yet, So, continuing on, instead, parents are forced to subscribe to these companies' exclusive recording and streaming service, which can cost many times more than the streaming cost for professional sporting events. Meanwhile, the firm's exclusive contracts have prohibited alternative video services from being made available. In some instances, parents have been threatened that if they choose to defy the rules and record the game, they may end up on a blacklist that punishes their kids' teams. That's crazy. Fucking insane. Oh, fuck yeah. Base Johnny Viral. What's happening, man? Yes, all the homies hate private equity. And this is why we love you, Johnny. It's fucking gross. And like Kermit, like you said, it's anti-family. This shit is fucking anti-fucking family. It's so against humanity. Every little joy you get in life, right? Like seriously, like the small, oh man, oh my God, Johnny, I'll when I cut that shit into a smaller video, check it out. It's crazy. We went into a deep dive on ShamWow, but thank you for stopping in. We love you in the chat here, Johnny. But this is like insane. Like, they're just taking away every fucking confused lizard. That's a great fucking point. Finally, a use case for the secret camera glasses. Actually, a really good idea of a way to maybe get around, this is insane. Oh, Johnny, yeah, I wonder if they could argue against using their kid's likeness or something like that to make some sort of case. I wonder, but a lot of these arenas and stuff, like if you're playing in there, you are just even by entering there, you've and a lot of these places will have it on the wall or something. Or I know, like, in a place where I work, it's like this. Like, if you buy a ticket to come to a show at the place I work, you've automatically agreed to be photographed in our, like, you know, place. So a lot of times these places do have, like, you know, if you're playing here and your team's playing here, you're agreeing to be filmed, and you're agreeing to follow the rules of not being filmed. And it sounds like, or not doing your own filming. And it sounds like also the punishment could be that it would go against the team too. So, like, not only are they saying, you know, your kid might be blacklisted, it might punish the whole team. Apparently those threats were reportedly made to a sitting U.S. senator. I mean, that doesn't bother me because it's like, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna fucking treat everyone like shit, treat the senators like shit too, you know? Yeah, Johnny, I'm sure they like, yeah, they cover their bases for, you know these private equity motherfuckers, they cover their bases so they can juice you, you know? They will find any way to do it. And something like this, so visibly scummy, like, you can't record your kid's game. Like, who sits in a boardroom, like, or like an executive room, and just, like, sitting around like, what else can we take from these fucking poor motherfuckers? They're living paycheck to paycheck. You know, it's hard enough to fucking pay for the hockey gear, you know? You gotta sharpen the skates, you gotta have a new stick. Oh, it broke? Shit. Well, and you gotta get the carbon fiber or whatever, you know? Maybe we can make them fucking not be able to record. That's sick, you know? It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, I was told this past weekend that if I live streamed my child's hockey game, my kid's team will be penalized and lose a place in the standings, said Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut at a public event earlier this year. Why is that? Because a private equity company has bought up the rinks. Insane. Murphy did not name the company in question, though the restrictive streaming practices he described have become widespread across youth hockey. Black Bear Sports Group, an emerging youth hockey empire and the largest owner-operator of hockey rinks in the country, is among the private equity-backed companies that are amassing a chokehold on recording and streaming youth sports. At Black Bear-owned ice rinks, parents cannot record, post, or live stream their kids' hockey games online, quote, per official company policy, according to staff at those venues. Some rink attendants say they will confiscate attendees' recording devices if they find them. Some specialized sports training. Oh, Johnny, yeah, you're saying Chris Murphy isn't a pushover? I don't know. I really don't know Chris Murphy. So hopefully he, you know, maybe does something about that. But I don't know. Shit. You know, you cut anybody off a piece of the cheese, you never know. You never know if they'll play ball with you there. Some specialized sports training consultants have agreements with Black Bear that allows them to record games and practices, but only for internal use. According to a spokesperson, Black Bear claims the policy is to mitigate significant safety risks to players, such as players being filmed without their consent. The spokesperson failed to answer a follow-up question about what penalties attendees might face if they tried to record the games themselves. I wouldn't be surprised if lawsuits, like, you know, you film a game, they'll fucking get litigious. Black Bear streaming service costs between 25 and 50 bones a month, depending on the package and additional fees. Because they know you'll pay to watch your kid. They'll fucking squeeze you by the balls. That's crazy. The company's aggressive expansion of the program has even triggered a lawsuit from a former streaming partner alleging breach of contract and trade secret theft. In addition to its recording rules and associated costs, Black Bear is starting to add a $50 registration and insurance fee per player for some leagues. That's on top of what players already spend on expensive equipment, team registration, and membership to USA Hockey, the sport's national governing body. Black Bear Sports Group does not have a good reputation in the hockey world and is known for predatory practices of its customers, like price gouging, reads a recently lost petition protesting the new registration and insurance charges. The fees and streaming restrictions reveal how private equity firms are deploying the same playbook in youth sports as they have in other domains, from dentistry to bowling. Degrade the quality of service while juicing returns for investors. Black Bear is following the exact same model as we've seen elsewhere in the industry, said Katie Van Dyck, an antitrust attorney and senior fellow at the American Economic Liberties Project. It's not about investing to enrich our children's lives. Johnny says, yeah, this is just going to lead to more kids being left out of the sport they want to play. 100%. 100%. Because it's not about them. And it's not about creating, athletic, first of all, I think athletics in this country are taking very seriously, to the point where I'm even shit, fucking too seriously, okay? They're taking too fucking seriously. To the point where I'm even should I say too seriously? They're fucking taking too seriously, especially youth fucking sports, okay? Youth sports should be around to help kids develop, right? In healthy ways, teach them teamwork, dynamics, different things like that. It's not about winning, you know? I don't get that. I don't get that at all. But these private equity organizations, they don't care about any element of it. It's just money. It's a new revenue stream, you know? Yeah, like Johnny said, it should be there to help kids, teach them stuff, and keep them out of trouble too. That's a great point too. I mean, a lot of kids do avoid trouble because they are able to go to after school programs, or they have some sort of enrichment, or you find something that you're passionate about, right? If I didn't have music, I don't know where I would have put my aggression. And now I'm not an aggressive person. I'm a very chill person, you know? So that's just the kind of idea there. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but this is another area where, surprise, surprise, Johnny, you're a theater kid. I have to let my wife Tony know. She's going to be so excited because she's a theater kid. I always give the theater kids trouble in here. I do. Because you guys are always... I played in the pit. I'm theater kid adjacent. I played the drums in the pit. But you guys were always crazy over the disco fries. Those you theater kids and your disco fries. I always make fun of my wife. I'm like, you're a menace to these diners, you know? Shit, man. That one's crazy. I've got some other stories here. I'm out of palate cleansers though, so we're just gonna have to go into some more shit stuff here. Now, the other thing I wanted to cover with you guys here is, oh, you know what? This one's kind of cool. I mean, not kind of cool, but you'll see. You'll see what I mean. Oh, actually, I do have one fun one. I have a fun one we'll end the night with. Okay, guys, here's how we'll end the night. We're going to go over this article, which is going to be talking about how music is a weapon of war. And then we're going to watch an amazing video about the Mars Volta recording The Bedlam and Goliath, and how a haunted Ouija board cursed their recording session. So that's how we'll end the night there. But let's first go into this. So one of the main things that I, like to do around here is music. And I like to incorporate my politics into music. And I feel like it's one of the ways that I can create something that I feel like could do something in one way or another, at least help people find some safe haven, something they can relate to, make them feel seen, or inspire them to sort of change, or not exactly change their politics, or maybe change their politics, but think about the way they view these things, or maybe find an avenue for their political aggression, so that they can, heal and get ready for the next fight, the next protest, all the different things we do, the ways we build community. And I also really like to try to emphasize the importance of small community and that sort of stuff. But I like to use music. I think it's a great way for us to connect and to heal and to escape some of this shit, which is why I thought this was an interesting story. Ukraine is jamming Russia's superweapon with a song. Okay? So it's music being used as a weapon. Okay? A few years ago, Putin hyped the Kinzhal hypersonic missile. Now electronic warfare is knocking it out of the sky with music and some bad directions. So this is the missile downed. That's crazy. The Ukrainian army is knocking a once-hyped Russian superweapon out of the sky by jamming it with a song and tricking it into thinking it's in Lima, Peru. The Kremlin once called its KH-47M2 Kinzhal ballistic missiles invincible. Joe Biden said the missile was, quote, almost impossible to stop. Now Ukrainian electronic warfare experts say they can counter the Kinzhal with some music and a redirection order. Oops, I did it again, Zelensky. Oh, that's funny. Get wrecked, Kremlin. They're getting wrecked. As winter begins in Ukraine, Russia has ramped up attacks on power and water infrastructure using the hypersonic Kinzhal missile. Russia has come to rely on a massive long-range barrages that include drones and missiles. An overnight attack in early October included 496 drones and 53 missiles, including the Kinzhal. Another attack at the end of October involved more than 700 mixed missiles and drones, according to the Ukrainian Air Force. Quote, only one type of system in Ukraine was able to intercept those kinds of missiles. It was the Patriot system, which the United States provided to Ukraine. But because of the limits of those systems and the shortage of ammunition, Ukraine defense are unable to intercept most of those Kinzhals. A member of Night Watch, a Ukrainian electronic warfare team, told 404 Media. The representative from Night Watch spoke to me on the condition of anonymity to discuss war tactics. Kinzhals and other guarded munitions navigate by communicating with Russian satellites that are part of the GLONASS system, a GPS-style navigation network. Nightwatch uses a jamming system called Lima EW to generate a disruption field that prevents anything in the area from communicating with the satellite. Ajax? Fucking the Lale Lule Lo system? Dude, I was literally, as I was reading this, I was about to stop and be like, I feel like I'm reading some Metal Gear Solid shit right now. I was literally about to say that. I fucking love you for saying that. Lima does that, but also sends along many traditional jamming systems work by blasting receivers on munitions and aircraft with radio noise. Lima does that, but also sends along a digital signal and spoofs navigation signals. It hacks the receiver it's communicating with to throw it off course. Nightwatch shared pictures of the downed Kinzhals with 404 Media that showed a missile with a controlled reception pattern antenna, an active antenna that's meant to resist jamming and spoofing. We discovered that this missile had pretty old type of technology, Nightwatch said. They had the same type of receivers as old Soviet missiles used to have, so there's nothing special, there's nothing new in those type of missiles. Nightwatch told 404 Media that it had used this Lima to take down 19 Kinzhals in the past 2 weeks. First, it replaces the missile's satellite navigation signals with the Ukrainian song, Our Father is Bandera. Can we listen to that? This is a banger. I wasn't sharing the audio. Holy fuck, guys, this bangs. Better Ajax? Let me know if it's better. Man, this is beautiful music. Man, this is a banger. That's I like that. That's a good song. Um, okay, so it replaces the missile's satellite navigation signals with that Ukrainian song, Our Father is Bandera. Any digital noise or random signal would work to jam the navigation system, but Nightwatch wanted to use the song because they think it's funny. We just send a song, we just make it into binary code, you know, like 010101, and just send it to the Russian navigation system. Nightwatch said, it's just kind of a joke. Bandera is a Ukrainian nationalist, and Russia tries to use this person in their propaganda to say all Ukrainians are Nazis. They always try to scare the Russian people that Ukrainians are culturally all the same as Bandera. Once the song hits, Nightwatch uses Lima to spoof a navigation signal to the missiles and make them think they're in Lima, Peru. Once the missile's confused about its location, it attempts to change direction. Oh, Ajax makes you want to play Stalker. I've actually never played that game. I played the Metro games. I love those games, but I hear Stalker's amazing. I should play that. These missiles are fast. Launched from a MiG-31, they can hit speeds of up to Mach 5.7 or more than 4,000 miles per hour. And an object moving that fast doesn't fare well with sudden changes of direction. The airframe cannot withstand the excessive stress, and the missile naturally fails, Nightwatch said. When the Kinzhal missile tried to quickly change navigation, the fuselage of the missile was unable to handle the speed. And yeah, it was just cut into two parts. The biggest advantage of those missile speed was used against them. So that's why we have intercepted 19 missiles for the last 2 weeks. That's crazy. These are the electronics in the down missiles. This is crazy. Nightwatch told 404 Media that Russia is attempting to defeat the Lima system by loading the missiles with more of the old tech. The goal seems to be to use the different receivers to hop frequencies and avoid Lima's signal. What is Russia trying to do? Increase the amount of receivers on those missiles? They used to have 8 receivers, and right now they increase it up to 12, but it will not help, Nightwatch said. The last one we intercepted, they already used 16 receivers. It's pretty useless, that type of modification. That is crazy. According to Nightwatch, countering Lima by increasing the number of receivers on the missile is a profound misunderstanding of its tech. They think we make the attack on each receiver, and as soon as one receiver attacks, they try to swap in another receiver and get a signal from another satellite. But when the missile enters the range of our system, we cover all types of receivers. They say it's physically impossible to connect with another satellite, but they think that it's possible. That's why they started with 4 receivers, and right now it's 16. I guess in the future we'll see 24, but it's pretty useless. That's crazy. So that's just I thought that was an interesting story. I don't know much about tech or anything like that, but I thought that was cool how they were using music to fight missiles. I mean, come on, I'm with it. So guys, let's end the night with a little bit of Mars Volta. Okay, so let me know if we got Mars Volta fans up in the chat right now. I know Ajax is with me on that. I love the Mars Volta, and to me, they're so interesting because they're a band that I feel like got way more popular than anyone would have ever expected them to. At least more popular than I would have ever expected them to. Their sound is not necessarily the most accessible sound in the world, but they got huge. I mean, just to give you an idea of Grand Theft Autobot. Oh, what's up? Yeah, what's going on? You did catch a live. What's happening? What's up, metalheads? We love that. We're about to go into a Mars Volta, an interesting story about a Mars Volta album, the Bedlam and Goliath. So apparently, this album. Oh, Ajax, yeah, Bedlam and Delouse are your favorites. I love that. I'm right there with you. I think I would agree with you on that. I like Amputexture as well because Amputexture's got the Ambitexture's got Day of the Baphomets, and that song is crazy, and it's got that bongo solo. But yeah, I think Bedlam, probably my favorite. Bedlam also, the first album with Thomas Pridgeon, incredible drummer, who's been across with so many bands now at this point, Bad Brains and all across. He has incredible gospel chops, and this was his first album with the band, and really the only album that I feel like he really like sits in well with the band. I feel like after this album, it's just different. But let's get into this. This is a really cool story, and again, Mars Volta totally defies expectations on like a band achieving success back in the day. But let's dive into this, guys.
There are certain stories in music history that just become legendary. You know, stories of creative genius, of clashing egos, of pure ambition. And then there are stories that feel like they were ripped straight out of a horror novel. Back in 2006, you have the progressive rock band, the Mars Volta.
And real quick, before we even get into it, the Mars Volta, like, these are the two guys, the main dudes of the Mars Volta. If you don't know, Omar Rodriguez Lopez and Cedric Bixler Zavala. They said, like, I know Cedric for sure has had a really weird, crazy life. He's married to somebody who was a victim of, like, Danny Masterson and Scientology. And he may have, I don't know if he was in Scientology too for a minute or something like that. But he's, like, you know, he's been in documentaries with his wife about leaving Scientology and stuff like that. Very interesting dudes. Very, very wild lives. And you'll hear them, I think they say in this too, they've always talked about bad things kind of following them. So you'll hear a little bit about that.
A group already known for their feral energy and abstract lyrics, and they were at the absolute height of their powers. Critics loved them, they had a ferociously dedicated fan base, and they were ready to create their fourth masterpiece. But a strange, seemingly harmless gift that was bought in a Jerusalem curio shop would end up unleashing a torrent of paranormal events and unexplainable disasters that threatened to destroy not just the album, but the band itself. Their studio flooded not once but twice. Their trusted longtime engineer had a complete psychotic breakdown. Their lead singer had to get his foot surgically reconstructed and had to learn to walk all over again. I had previously done a video about At the Drive-In, and a ton of people in the...
At the Drive-In is also sick, the original band. Same two guys, Omar Rodriguez Lopez and Cedric Bixler Zavala, but a different kind of sound, more indie rock sound. Mars Volta also incredible live. They put on one of the best shows ever.
The comments asked me to cover the Mars Volta, so here we are. This is the story of how the Mars Volta battled a cursed Ouija board to create a chaotic Grammy-winning masterpiece. This is the curse making of the Bedlam and Goliath.
Yeah, Ajax. Yeah, I would say like they kind of dabble in that math rock kind of a sound. I think like now when people talk about math rock, they're like thinking more like Terra Melos. I don't know if you've ever heard like that band, or like what was the other band that was super noodly? They're so noodly now. But yeah, they definitely had some elements of that. Like there's one Mars Volta riff that at the end of Deloused, on the song Take the Veil, Lift the Veil Serpent Taxed, I think is the name of the song. But there's like a riff in there, like I've never been able to count the time signature. It's insane. So they're on some other shit.
Before we get started, be sure to hit the bell notification icon and put all notifications on. I hear from a lot.
Oh yeah, this is Rock and Roll True Stories is the channel. Highly recommend. This is the first video I saw by them, but it was really good, and I subbed through the like, you know how it goes.
Subscribers that they don't even get notifications when I post my videos. I would greatly appreciate if you guys did that. In addition to, of course, watching my videos and sharing my content. So to really get the chaos that was about to swallow these guys, you got to go back and understand the band itself. Formed in 2001 by singer Cedric Bixler Zavala and guitarist producer Omar Rodriguez Lopez, the band basically rose from the ashes of their legendary post-hardcore group At the Drive-In. But where At the Drive-In was this punk rock explosion, the Mars Volta was a grand experimental freakout. It was them consciously trying to push musical boundaries into places no one had gone before, blending psychedelic rock, jazz, fusion, Latin rhythms, and hardcore energy into a sound that was completely their own. Their first two albums, 2003's Deloused and The Comatorium and 2005's Francis the Mute, were these sprawling, ambitious concept records that earned them huge critical acclaim and a reputation as one of the most innovative bands of the era. Francis the Mute was a massive commercial success, debuting at number 4 on the Billboard 200.
Math rock, Grand Theft Auto Bots is math rock, like their album Pythagorean Theorem featuring the song Pi. Yeah, like oh, that's a good one.
Chart.
That is, I mean, to be fair, when the math rock guys, when they're writing their songs, they're pretty much just doing like 3.14159s all over the place, right? They're on some math shit. Some musicians are mathy as fuck. You know, I'm a field kind of a guy. You know, other musicians are just all numbers and shit. These guys definitely got some numbers going on. They're a blend.
And it eventually went gold. They followed that up with 2006's Amputecture, a record that continued to stretch their complex sound even if it didn't have a single story holding it all together.
Oh, Viscera Eyes.
The Mars Volta was a creative vortex with Omar and Cedric right at the center. The lineup around them was famously fluid, just rotating cast of insanely talented musicians who were brave enough to step into the band's demanding world. By the time they were set to record their 4th album, they were a seasoned, formidable unit. But they were no strangers to turbulence and tragedy. They had already dealt with the heartbreaking loss of their friend and founding sound manipulator, Jeremy Ward, who died of an overdose in 2003. It was an event that deeply shaped the dark themes on Francis the Mute. They were a band that lived on the edge, both artistically and personally, and they just carried a certain chaos with them. As Omar himself once joked in an interview, I shouldn't really get close to you because if I do, I'll most likely die. Because all our closest friends, they always died, and tragically. It was a grim joke, but it pointed...
Yo, okay, the other thing with these guys is like they're the fucking music dorks that you know at your school who are like socially awkward as fuck. Like I don't know if you guys seen interviews with them, but like they're pretty funny like that. Yeah, they're playing in 3.14159 time signature right there. You know that. What's this in? We're in 3.159 over 11. All right, let's try to keep up.
Went into a pattern of intensity and drama that just seemed to follow them wherever they went, and they were about to invite something into their lives that would make all that previous chaos look pretty tame. The story of the Bedlam and Goliath really kicks off not in a recording studio, but in a curio shop in Jerusalem. While the band was on tour in 2006 with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Omar was out exploring the city, making field recordings for the next album when he found himself in this small shop filled with old archaic items. And there he found a unique antique talking board, kind of like a Ouija board. He decided...
Confused Lizard, your old punk rock dad took you to see at the drive-in when you were too young to remember and you never knew that became the Mars Volta. That's so cool. Like, that's awesome. And shout out to the punk rock dads. I got a punk rock dad too. Shout out to those punk rock dads who've taken us to the shows. I remember my dad took me to Warped Tour back in like 04 or 03, back when it was like Bad Religion and NoFX, and you know, the most emo band there was like Coheed and Cambria. It was like sick. Those were the days.
Decided to buy it as a gift for Cedric. As for those field recordings, they made their video, but in a curio shop.
That was an important part.
While the band was on tour in 2006 with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Omar was out exploring the city, making field recordings for the next album when he found himself in this small shop filled with old archaic items. And there he found a unique antique talking board, kind of like a Ouija board. He decided to buy it as a gift for Cedric. As for those field recordings, they made their way onto the song Soothsayer on their follow-up record. The band needed translators because the messages on the board appeared in multiple languages, Hebrew, Latin, and Aramaic. One translator reportedly quit the project, returning the band's money, not wanting anything to do with the project.
Oh man, yo, Grand Theft Auto Bots this sounds like something that would happen in Spinal Tap. It does, and you know what? Like this is a pretty interesting story. Like there's like definitely dudes who are like, this happened for sure, and then like the band themselves are like, I don't even know. This was a weird time period in our lives. It's very interesting.
The second translator said the messages were written in a song or chant form, which contributed to the album's legendary reputation for strange and unsettling events during its creation. The band, bored on their long stretches of their tour opening for the Chili Peppers, started playing with the board as a post-show ritual. They nicknamed it the Soothsayer. At first, it was just a fun diversion.
That's one of the songs on the album too, Soothsayer.
The band would get together on the tour bus and just casually mess with the board, but pretty soon it became something so much more. The planchette started moving with this unnerving purpose, spelling out names, poems, and stories. Cedric, who had been dealing with a bout of writer's block, began meticulously writing down everything the board said, finding this dark source of inspiration in his messages. The Soothsayer told him a story, a fragmented cryptic tale about a love triangle between a man, a woman, and her mother. It was a story of lust, seduction, infidelity, and eventually murder. The band collectively named the entity or entities talking to them Goliath. According to Cedric and Omar, Goliath was actually made of 3 spirits, with the male spirit being dominant and aggressive, often silencing the 2 female voices who were trying to tell their story of abuse. This dynamic of a male character speaking over a female who's looking for someone to tell her story became a central theme for the album. The Soothsayer's messages were folded directly into the new music. Handwritten poems they found inside the board's case were also translated and used as lyrics. Song titles and concepts were seemingly being dictated by this otherworldly collaborator. The board became so central to their creative process that Cedric later said it was like having a third member in the band. But this new member was becoming more and more demanding. Goliath started making requests, which were small at first, like rum and flowers, but then they got more insistent and even threatening. It wanted something from them. It wanted out. Omar, who had a history with addiction, started to see a dangerous parallel in Cedric's relationship with the board. He described it as a compulsive obsession, not that different really from drug dependency. He recalled watching his former bandmate Jeremy Ward struggle, saying you could see it from a distance and be like, oh man, this isn't good.
That's crazy. Yeah, Ajax is wild, right? Like, they're getting hooked on this board and like these spiritual messages they think they're receiving from it. Like, I don't even think they're drug dudes. Like, these guys seem like way too dorky to even be drug dudes. I think they're just fucking like dorks.
The fun had curdled into something sinister. The Soothsayer, once a source of creative inspiration, now felt like a force that was trying to take control. Fearing,
or they used to be drug dudes, but I don't think they're drug dudes anymore. Is what I'm trying to say.
For his friend and the band, Omar made a decision. Having grown up in a family that practiced Santeria, a spiritual religion that originates from the Caribbean, he took the board from Cedric, broke it into pieces, wrapped it in a cloth, and secretly buried it. He hoped that by burying it, it would sever their connection to Goliath, but it really didn't. If anything, that's when the curse really began. With the board buried, the Mars Volta went into the studio to formally record their 4th album, but the energy they messed with just didn't go away. It seemed to lash out, determined to stop the album from ever being finished. A string of inexplicable disasters and personal tragedies started to hit the band, escalating in severity until it felt like they were under a coordinated supernatural attack. The first casualty was the studio itself. Omar's personal home studio in Brooklyn, where a lot of the work was being done, flooded. Then somehow it flooded again. Major pieces of equipment started failing randomly. Audio tracks would just vanish from the Pro Tools sessions. The mixer, a guy named Rich Costi, who was a man of science, at first dismissed Omar's talk of a curse, thinking the vanishing files were some kind of logical glitch. But as it kept happening, even he was left without a rational explanation.
Now, this is how you know. That's what got me. Once I got to this part, I was like, the sound guy's fucking starting to believe this shit? Now something might be up. Once the sound guy starts going, this is a little fishy. This is a little fishy to me.
The curse then seemed to start targeting the band members personally. Bassist Juan Alderete announced that he'd been diagnosed with
Juan Alderete is one of the best bassists of all time. And he was in a bad motorcycle crash. I wonder if I hope he's still alive.
A rare blood disease. Then in May of 2007, right in the middle of the recording session, Cedric suffered a bizarre and severe injury to his foot, which was blamed on the stylish tight shoes he often wore.
Yeah, it might be the power of magical thinking. 100%. This is funny because yeah, he wears these fucking like tight ass shoes that I remember like my bus driver from Georgia wearing when I lived in Georgia from 1st through 3rd grade, and they look like real piggy squeezers. Yeah, Ajax, it's a good story, right? Like, it's a good, like, little spooky ghost story. especially for the Mars Volta. Perfect band for this little story with.
The damage was so bad that it required major surgery, and after that, he had to completely relearn how to walk. The band's drummer, meanwhile, Blake Fleming, abruptly quit mid-tour, which left the group in a tough financial spot. It was just the relentless series of misfortunes that seemed too frequent to be a coincidence. The most terrifying event, though, was what happened to their original engineer. This was a guy Omar had worked with on previous records, someone he trusted completely. Suddenly, in the middle of the studio, he had a complete nervous breakdown. He became convinced that the band was trying to use music for some evil purpose. He frantically told Omar, "I'm not going to let you make this record. You're going to do something very bad with this record. You're trying to make me crazy, and you're trying to make people crazy." And crucially, the band had never told the engineer about the soothsayer or the album's paranormal backstory.
Right, because remember, they already broke up the Ouija board and buried it by this point when they're in the studio. When they actually get to the studio to record, they've already, busted up the Ouija board and buried it.
In his psychosis, the engineer hijacked the master recording, stealing the hard drives with the intention of destroying them. The band was forced to essentially organize a recovery mission to get their stolen album back from him. When they did finally get the drives back, they found that the engineer had left no notes and had scrambled the sessions, making the work almost impossible to use. Omar was on the brink of scrapping the entire project. The album just seemed doomed. It felt like every step forward was met with 3 steps back. The force that they had contacted Goliath was furious that its story was being told, but it was also doing everything in its power to make sure the album would never see the light of day. It was a classic catch-22. It was pure bedlam. Cedric remarked how growing up there was a lot of superstition in his family, adding, "When I told my father the story, his response was, 'How could you be so stupid? Why would you play with something like that?' He added to Tulsa World that only trained masters use the Ouija board, adding that the board is very serious, though corporate America has turned it into a game. So faced...
That's I can't imagine growing up with parents who have who think that stuff, right? Just so far off from the things my parents believe. It's kind of cool.
With financial ruin, physical injury, psychological collapse, and the very real possibility of losing their entire album, the band reached a turning point. They had a choice. They could either abandon the project and admit defeat, let the curse win, or they could fight back. They chose to fight. Omar and Cedric became convinced that the only real way to break the curse was to see the album through to the end. A way to exorcise the very thing that was tormenting them. They hired a new engineer, Robert Carranza, who bravely stepped into the chaos. The band's whole mindset soon shifted. They were no longer the victims of this thing. They were actively harnessing its chaotic energy and channeling it straight into the music. The album became a weapon against the very entity that inspired it. The resulting music was seething, internal, and just relentless. It was the sound of a band that was cornered and playing for their lives. To further combat the darkness, they started embedding spiritual traps and protective elements within the music itself. For example, the song Metatron is named after a powerful archangel, the voice of God, which Cedric said was a deliberate choice to place a hopeful blessing on the track to fight back against the entity's attacks. Their new drummer, Thomas Pridgeon, a young prodigy, brought his ferocious and vital new energy to the sessions. His powerful berserker style of drumming became the engine that drove the album's aggressive momentum forward, perfectly capturing the frantic, combative spirit of the recording process.
Incredible drummer.
The album that Goliath tried to destroy was now becoming the Mars Volta's most intense and muscular work to date. After a marathon push in the studio, Omar and his new team finally wrestled the chaotic recordings into a finished album, and they had survived the bedlam. Cedric told the Edmonton Journal,
Metatron is so good. I'm trying to remember how that one goes in the middle. Is that the one that has the part that sort of stops? And then it's dun, 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 and then it goes in that really cool boom, 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 boom. I gotta go back and listen to the album now, especially after hearing this story. Everybody's gotta go listen to that album.
Bedlam and Goliath is our satanic verses, our version of the film that Van Gogh's cousin Theo made that got him killed, referring to the movie Submission. Omar, meanwhile, explained that the intention was to create something completely different from their previous albums, especially after their last one, which featured some of the most intense and intricate music he had composed in a long time. Moving in a new direction to him felt natural, and the result was an album inspired, believe it or not, by acoustic music. He mentioned that during this period, he saw inspiration from artists like Nick Drake, Syd Barrett, and Leonard Cohen. Omar noted that when making an acoustically driven record, the songs are typically more direct, focusing on vocals, guitars, and simple chords, which served as a starting point for the album's style. The music itself tells a story of its own chaotic birth. The album is a dense, often punishing listen, reflecting the relentless assault the band felt they were under. Goliath, a sprawling psychedelic freakout, the song mirrors that fragmented and aggressive story told by the Soothsayer. When the record label pushed for it to actually be the first single, they demanded a shorter radio edit, but the band flatly refused. To them, cutting down Goliath would be a betrayal of the very entity that they were trying to exorcise.
So cool.
The song needed
so
its
good.
full monstrous length to be true to the experience. In contrast, the lead single, Wax Simulacra, is a blistering sub-3-minute blast of pure hardcore energy. It's the sound of a band fighting back with concentrated fury. This track would go on to win the 2009 Grammy for Best Hard Rock Performance, a huge moment of mainstream validation.
Also, they covered Back Up Against the Wall by the Circle Jerks around this time as well, and it's a really good cover.
Proved their sheer talent was undeniable, even at their most difficult. The Bedlam and Goliath was finally released in January of 2008. Against all odds, the album that did not want to be born had arrived, and its reception was as dramatic as its creation. The album debuted at an incredible number 3 on the Billboard 200 chart, selling about 54,000 copies in its first.
That's crazy. I mean, like, this is how big the Mars Volta was at the time, and, like, their sound is just insane for it to be as big as it was.
First week, and giving the band their highest charting album to date. The album's packaging itself had a final defiant nod to its haunted origins. The vinyl gatefold included the band's own version of the Soothsayer board, a replica for the listener. As writer Jeremy Robert Johnson put it in a document released by the band, "We're the ones reopening the board, taking on the ownership. Perhaps if Goliath is spread between us all, its hunger will dissipate. Or, as it threatened, it could become more epidemic." Curse was no longer just the band's to deal with. It was being shared with the world. At the time, the Mars Volta were named the most adventurous band out of all the groups signed to a major label. Cedric reflected on the band's success up until this point, telling the Sun News, "Our fans remind me of people who are Lost fans or part of some sci-fi geek convention. It's nice to know they're coming out in droves to support us." Around the time of the album's release, the Mars Volta did something pretty unique only a few other groups were doing, including Matchbox 20. They released the album through USB. For $30, you could buy the album preloaded on a USB stick. Critically, the reception was a little more divided. Some critics found the album's relentless density and chaotic energy to be just overwhelming, a sonic assault that was tough to get through. Others hailed it as a masterpiece, a showcase of pure power and technical skill that captured the band at their most ferocious. Omar remarked how when doing press in Germany for the record, that it seemed like some German reporters didn't believe the story behind the album, telling the Houston Chronicle, "They're very intelligent people, but they needed everything explained. They say it's a nice fairy tale, but we don't believe you." So what are we supposed to make of...
Amazing quote from the Mars Volta about the Germans, just being like, they needed the whole thing explained to them. They don't understand the abstract.
The story of the Bedlam and Goliath. Was it a genuine paranormal curse unleashed by a haunted Ouija board from Jerusalem, or was it a case of collective delusion where the intense pressure of creating combined with personal struggles manifested as a supernatural narrative? Was the engineer's breakdown a psychotic episode, or was it just a tragic result of stress and overwork? Were the flooded studios and vanishing hard drives cosmic sabotage, or just a string of incredibly bad luck? The band members themselves have looked back on that time with a mix of belief and distance. Omar compared the experience to being a drug addict, saying, "You have these crazy realities happening in your head where once you sober up and become a different person, you look back and go, what was I thinking?" But it doesn't take anything away from what you believed was happening at the time. Ultimately, whether you believe the story or not almost doesn't really matter. The curse, real or imagined, became the driving force of one of the most fascinating, ferocious, and ambitious rock albums of the 21st century. The chaos became the art. The struggle for survival was recorded and mixed and pressed to vinyl. The Bedlam and Goliath is just a landmark album, not just for its Grammy-winning music, but for its legend that surrounds it. It's a story that blurs the line between creative genius and genuine madness, a ghost story that you can actually listen to, and it serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes when you go looking for inspiration in dark places, those places might just follow you home. What do you guys think? Was the album genuinely cursed, or was it an elaborate story born from chaos and pressure? Let me know your theories in the comments section below, and that brings us to the end of today's video, guys. We'll see you again in Rock and Roll True Stories. Take care.
All right, shout out Rock and Roll True Stories there. That is a great, phenomenal video. They were not on the dope. They were not on the dope. Especially for that recording. They were not on the dope. I think they may have been on the dope at one point, but then they were off the dope. They were on, but I'll tell you what they were on. They were on that esoteric, vengeful spirit hidden in the Ouija board. You know, they were on that. They were on that crackpot. You know, so yeah, guys, that's the story of the Mars Volta, the Bedlam and Goliath. Incredible, really, really cool story. If you've never listened to that album before, give it a spin. You know, I know Ajax, I know you'll be going back to it with a new appreciation. I'm going to go back and listen to it with a new appreciation for that. But with that, gang, that brings us to the end of tonight's stream. I want to thank you guys all for coming out and hanging with me. Oh, absolutely on the Ouija board. That's a Hank Hill right there. Hank Hill, you got that dang Ouija board? You're on that dang Ouija board, son? Why your eyes look so red? Why are you so squinty? It smells like a skunk's taint up in here. What, you on that Ouija? Well, you on that sweet Ouija? All right, stupid shit. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, this was great. I love you guys so much. I appreciate the support eternally. Stay tuned. This week, my new video essay is dropping, and it's a deep dive on Trump's Bible, which is required reading in Oklahoma public schools. We're going to be going through the whole Trump God Bless the USA website. This is the God Bless the USA Bible, of course, endorsed by Lee Greenwood. And, you know, that website has Trump guitars on it, everything. It's a whole bunch of shit. And then I enjoy the research I did on it. I think it's a well-researched video. I gave you a sneak peek at the beginning of the stream of the new song that's coming out. So if you didn't catch that, you can go back in the stream and watch that if you want to hear what the song's going to sound like. But that will be dropping later this week. And yeah, I don't know if I'll be streaming Thursday or not, guys, because I know that is Thanksgiving. I probably will be if anybody's around and wants to do some video games. Thursday is our video game night. Yes, Grand Theft Autobot, thank you so much for coming out. And definitely hope to see you again soon. Monday, you know, we do riffs and we do news. Thursday, we do gaming. All right. So, yeah, guys, thank you once again. And I will see you again very soon. And you guys are the best. Thanks again for everything. And everyone have a great night. Okay. Toodles.